Welcome. I'm Sharice Taylor. I'm the host of the Time Matters Facebook page and podcast. And today, my guest is Sharron St. John, and I want to welcome you.
Hello. Hi, Sharice. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Excellent. So I'm an LA girl and you're in Los Angeles. And so we're going to talk about the real estate industry, and you can share some pearls of wisdom about that. So could you just tell a little bit about what you do with your business?
Yeah, of course. So I am an LA girl too. We just talked about that. But I am currently the managing broker of a real estate firm here in Los Angeles. We help people buy, sell, lease, invest in real estate, as well as do property management. So it's a very busy time right now, lots going on, but really exciting, and I'm happy to be doing it.
Excellent. So I know the market is hot. It's hot here too, in Virginia. And so for students that are thinking about their life after high school, what does it take to get into the real estate industry? Do you need a college degree? What are your recommendations?
Oh, I actually do a workshop at UCLA when it's not COVID, and it's about how to get started in real estate as an undergraduate. Because, I mean, I honestly wish I was doing real estate part-time for my part-time job while I was at UCLA. You don't need a college degree to become licensed. Um, I mean, it does help, but it's not a requirement. And the barrier to entry into the real estate sales industry is not that high. So definitely recommend it as like a side job or something, or as a full career like I had done.
And it's funny you say that because as an undergrad, I worked at UCLA in the bookstore,
Right.
in the restaurants. And because it's so expensive there, had I started earlier, even in that field part-time, I would have had an in to own property, lease it. So for students who are thinking about it, what are some of those soft skills that they need to really be successful?
Okay. Yeah, some of the soft skills that you need to be successful in real estate are communication skills, which you learn great at UCLA. So how to communicate verbally, written. Um, yeah, those are some basic skills. But then also, real estate is very much emotionally coaching a client through a transaction. That's a huge transaction that a lot of people have never done before. And so the soft skills that are really valuable is like emotional intelligence and coaching and clearly communicating what's going on, reading your client, what they're scared about, what their fears are of the future, and just helping them through navigate that process. So I would say communication and then emotional intelligence are the number one soft skills, or number two.
So, and anyone can have those skills. Is there you mentioned licensing. So what does
Right.
that look like? What is that process? And
Yeah,
how long
so
is it?
the mechanics, right. Okay, the mechanics of getting your license start, you need to take 3 classes. You pay for the online courses. It's 3 very simple classes. Once you pass those, then you submit an application to the state requesting a state exam time. And then, I don't know, that could take like 30 to 90 days to get a test date from the state. Once you pass that exam, then you're officially licensed. So from start to finish, I would say like a 6-month process from when you log into your first class to when you walk out of the room with your real estate license.
Awesome. So yeah, really. Is there an age limit?
I want to say 18, but I haven't checked. I was 26 when I got my real estate license, 27.
Okay. But still, for someone that is, you know, thinking maybe I don't want to go to college, maybe I just want to jump into the workforce. Um,
Right.
for those high school seniors that are 18, they can start looking
Hmm.
at that now. So that's great.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Hmm.
Um, so we talked about soft skills. So you're in the LA area. Is that
Yes.
the only area that you work in? Or when you're talking about licensing, is
Mhm.
it limited to a region? Can you be in different states?
So my license is valid throughout California, and but the areas that I service is based on where I can physically be.
Mhm.
And so my business is, I don't usually go up into Malibu. I mean, I've gone up there, but I try to stop right at the Palisades.
Mhm.
And then as far south as I go is around LAX area.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my little top to bottom, and then just over to East LA. That box is where I work.
Okay. And that keeps you quite busy. You said the market is hot. So can you talk about when the market is not hot, just the planning process to
Okay.
be able to deal with those dips when things slow down a bit?
Yeah, of course. Um, well, LA is kind of a bubble in itself because there's always transactions happening here in LA. So, but right now we are in a very hot seller's market, and there's a lot of competition. People are paying a lot of money for houses right now. Things that I've done to maintain business throughout these different cycles is
Mhm.
adding the property management component and also servicing leasing. So I help my clients who are investors. Maybe they have an apartment building, I'll manage that building for them. And then when it's time to get new tenants in the building or new residents, I help them lease it up. So if I'm not doing transactions, there's always going to be, the business of maintaining the buildings.
Mhm. So you mentioned it's a seller's market. So what does that really mean?
It means if you're a seller, the odds are in your favor. So, name your price and everybody's jumping to get it. It's crazy. It is kind of crazy right now, but yeah.
Wow. And so just for reference, because LA is a very expensive area,
Right.
and I think because what I recall is the limited properties that are available as well. Um, what is your area higher end, or is it all entry levels?
So in my brokerage, we service any price point. And I do have clients that are in the luxury
Mhm.
market. And then I have clients that are in the entry level, first time home buyer. You know, Starting home price in Los Angeles is $500,000, but
Mhm.
you know, that is entry level here in LA. And yeah, all across the spectrum. And we're seeing this like high demand at every price point. So it's not just the entry level homes, the lower price points.
And so when someone gets their license and is
Mm-hmm.
now a realtor,
Mm-hmm.
is there any other education that is needed or recommended as you develop your client base? Working independently, you have your own brokerage. Is that
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
So, as a business owner, can you just talk about like being the business owner
Yeah.
versus being a real estate agent for a brokerage?
Absolutely. So, and I always, in my internship program, I do talk to students who are interested in becoming a real estate agent. I talk to them about business fundamentals because if you get your license, you are your own business owner. You start day one, no one's giving you a paycheck. You go find clients, and those clients turn into your paycheck. Okay. And I love your podcast or this program because time management is the essential ingredient. Uh, really. So there's parts where you're learning the business, like the fundamentals of the business, building systems, understanding the legal documents you need. Then there's the developing you as a salesperson. So training, coaching, script practicing. Then there's scheduling time with the clients. You have to go out and show the clients the inventory, get a sense of what's going on in the market. All those different components are going on their own, and you're the boss. So you're scheduling when that's happening. Oh, my dog is like, he just woke up and I'm like, what? Usually sleeps till 11, but today he's up at my feet.
He's like, you're taking time from me.
Right.
That's okay.
But anyways, when I started in real estate, I knew that I wasn't going to be just an independent agent for long. The ultimate goal was to own a brokerage and to have agents working under me. So from the beginning, I was really big on how do I build a business. In any business, you have to understand the accounting, the legal, the marketing. So from the very beginning, I was big on setting up those systems and making sure that I'm using my time really effectively so that I can leverage that, leverage all the systems that I've set in place to bring in other people. Yeah, that was huge for me. And that was like a 4 or 5 year process. And so I opened up the brokerage February 2020.
Oh,
Perfect
wow.
timing.
Wow.
It was so funny. Yeah, that was so crazy.
But you already had the foundation set. So you had everything in place. And I think what you were talking about with time management is important. And those pearls of wisdom for students to know that it's a process and that you're not just going to jump in and, hit the market and make all the money. It stops with you. And I like that you shared that, you're the boss. And so no one's giving you a paycheck. So you have to have that go-getter drive to and be teachable as well.
Right. And being busy doesn't necessarily mean you're being effective. And so, there's a lot of things that you could be doing in an 8-hour workday. Usually people have a job and the boss tells you, okay, do this, and this is your next assignment. But again, in real estate, you can do anything you want to do. And if I want to be busy and just like staple papers all day, that's not gonna make me money.
Right. Right.
So I had to kind of guard my time and make sure that I'm accomplishing the right goals, not just staying busy.
Great. And you mentioned internships. And so are those internships for undergraduates? Are they for anyone that's 18 and over?
So we do have, I partner with UCLA at the Career Center. So I do get a lot of people who submit for the internship from UCLA. And I also at USC. So a lot of the interns are college students. But I've had other people older that are transitioning into a new career. They want to try out real estate. So they apply to the internship program too. Really what it is a training period. Here, on one hand, we're walking you through the application process to obtain your license. And in the meantime, you're unlicensed, but you want to get a sense of what real estate looks like. So, it'll be a couple hours on the phones, a couple hours building your business plan, just the basics of getting started in real estate.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Great. So we've shared a lot. I appreciate you taking the time. Is there anything else that you wanted to add to the conversation? Any tips?
So the main thing that I learned that I think is very valuable is managing your time. And that's why I was so interested in talking with you, because that was the hardest lesson I learned in my first year of real estate. I was very busy, but not really productive. And once I drilled down on how I'm managing my time, like big picture, I need to accomplish this goal, and breaking it up, hour by hour into a work week.
Right.
Then I started seeing results, and yeah, brought my business to where I wanted it to be.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. And I appreciate you talking about time and sharing information about your industry. And I think the networking piece, the connection that we have is UCLA and the ability to stay connected. And I think that piece, when you talk about college, is the part with the networking that allows you to reach some people that you may not have been able to reach, as in our example. So I appreciate you reaching out to me to share information about the real estate industry and what you're doing. And I think it's going to be really helpful for our students and the families that support them. So thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And I always end, remember how you spend your time matters. Thank you so much.